Hi you guys, welcome to the Retro Room. It's me, Chris Colley. I'm a few minutes late today. I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna have to pop on and make sure I'm in the right spot. I had breakfast with my friend this morning. It was a lovely way to start my day. And so when I got home, I had to just get my act together here a little bit for some things I wanted to share with you before I actually pop in to making some cards. Today we're going to make 5 beautiful Christmas cards. They're actually the cards I did for my Christmas club this month. But first off, I wanted to remind you about our wonderful starter kit special. Our starter kit is completely customizable. That means you can add anything you want to your starter kit. And right now we have a great pre-order going on with some beautiful flowers that are going to be available in the mini catalog, and they're just gorgeous. And with the pre-order, you can order some designer series paper and some gold accessories that won't be available in the mini catalog. They're only available during pre-order. But you pay $99 for the starter kit, and you get to pick $155 worth of a product to put in there. And it can be kits, it can be stamps, it can be dies, it can be these Stampin' Up! Cut and Emboss machine, whatever you want it to be, you can put in there. So it's totally up to you. And it's going to come with business products, so you get a whole box of catalogs and a free past paper pumpkin kit. You don't get to pick that. They're just going to send you one of those. And plus you get all the demonstrator perks after that. If you don't want to do anything but just grab that great deal on the starter kit, you can do that. But if you do want to order, you can become a happy shopper and get a 20 or 25% discount on everything you order while you are a demonstrator. And of course, there's lots and lots of demonstrator perks other than just your discount. So lots of ideas in there, and I do a lot of things with my team. So when you join our team, you get to be part of an absolutely wonderful little community that loves getting together and stamping with one another. So this deal is only good until the 31st of October. Hi, Kristen. Thanks for tuning in. So you have about 5 or 6 more days to take advantage of that. And then I have registration is still going on for the birthday club. So you can still join this club until October 31st. That's the last day to sign up for this one. So what we have is the birthday card organizer kit. And this kit really will get you organized for birthdays. And the club will get you organized with birthday cards to be able to send out. So your kit comes with this gorgeous, let me just set this over here. This gorgeous planner. It's like a birthday kit planner, and it's a perpetual calendar type of planner. So you have these pockets on the inside, and then over here you have some stickers. Let's see if I can easily find them. Here we go. So these are your stickers that have your months on them. So you're just going to peel that month off and put it here, and then fill in the people that have birth dates on these days. And this little pocket over here, you can really put anything in. Extra envelopes, stamps, whatever you want. And so you have 12 of these pockets, and you can fill each one with birthday cards. And then this one, you can again put anything you want, maybe a list of addresses. Hi, Susie. I hope you're all settled in at your new home. I can't wait for you to be here in Michigan with us. So this is the planner that you're going to get. These are the stickers. And then you're also going to get enough materials to make 6 of these cards and 6 of these cards. But during club, we're only going to do 3 of each of these, and then we're going to do 3 alternatives to each of those. so you can kind of see, hi Denise, different things that you can do with these card pieces. So your kit's going to come with your planner and your dates. This is instructions, and you can see our kits have just the easiest little instructions. This one, there's 3 steps to making that card. And this one, there's 3 steps to making that card. So really, really easy to follow instructions. And then you get some happiest birthday. These are little stickers. They're kind of like a cardstock, and they pop right off, so they'll stick on very easily. And in these, you're going to have to adhere yourself. And then some little words, it's your day. And you can see they have them in different languages also. So if you have friends in different countries, you can send those along too. And then we have card bases. So you have 6 card bases that look like this, and 6 card bases that look like this. And then they have envelopes that coordinate with them. Oh, Susie, I think you should get it. It is an adorable kit. And I love being able to be organized for the birthday. And then these are just punch outs that you can use on your cards. And you can see this is that beautiful flower that's on the front of your planner. And you get some sticky tape, and you get some dimensionals and some sequins. So the club is going to run 6 months. So we'll run November through April. And the first month, we're going to do kit cards. So when you come, you'll get your entire kit. Plus, you're going to get $40 worth of product that we're going to use to make cards with. So we're going to do these cards the first month. And then from December on, we'll make 8 cards each month, 2 each of 4 different designs. And cost for the entire club is $85. That does include your kit and $40 worth of product. If you want to do your kit to go, your cards to go, you can add an additional $10 for shipping each month, and or you can do a free door pickup if you're in the neighborhood. So that's the kit that's going to start, the club that's going to start in November, and you have until the end of October. So another 5 or 6 days to sign up for that. And then this is the other class that I'm going to be offering in November. And Denise, you did sign up already. I'll be making one for my mom too. Great. She will love it. I know. So this is the next one that we're going to be doing. It's going to be on November 16th, and it will be here at 7 o'clock, or you can bring your kit to our Paper Pumpkin Zoom at the end of November if you don't live in the area. Okay, so this is the Nourish and Flourish kit, and $3 from every kit gets donated to hunger relief organizations. Okay, and I think that's particularly important during the holidays, so that's why I chose November to do this class. And this is your kit, and with your kit you get this really cool lunchbox. It's an insulated lunchbox, and I think that's so pretty. But the lunchbox itself is, I love these little flowers on there. They're kind of like decals. They're so pretty. And then you have a card kit. I haven't opened this one yet. Let's see what this kit is about. And you have enough for 15 cards in here, 3 each of 5 different designs. And during our event, we will be making some alternatives also. So here's what your cards are going to look like. And there are 3 of them, and your kit has materials for 3 of each card. And again, super simple instructions to follow. And look how pretty. I love the colors for these. They're just gorgeous. Okay, and let's see what's in our kit. You have dimensionals, and then some little peach colored adhesive back dots. And we have envelopes. So you're gonna get envelopes in the peach color and the green and the blue. So those are gonna coordinate with all of your cards. And then your card bases, these three have that really pretty kind of leaf embossing in there. I hope you can see it on there. Just a gorgeous embossing. And then you have little punch outs. These are all in a different language. So you can pass those on to your friends in different countries. And then we have this card base, which is kind of arrows embossed in it. And more cards, little punch outs. And this one says, just saying hello. I'm just so lucky to know you, and I appreciate you more than you know. So those ones are, I think it's German that's on the bottom, but those are the ones that are on the top. And then for your last three cards, you have this one, which is just kind of a little floral design on it, and they're embossed in there. And then you have some punch outs that are flowers and leaves, and then some for banners, and then we have some adhesive dots. So this class is $47, and that's going to include your kit and the materials you're going to need to do your alternative cards. So with your kit, we're going to make these cards here. Okay? All right. And then I still have my Christmas club going on, and we meet again on November 9th. And that is going to be from 1 to 4 or from 6 to 9. You're going to make 15 cards. It's 3 each of 5 different designs. This is one of the cards that we made on Friday. And I'm actually going to be sharing all of them with you today. So this was what we did in my October club. And club is $39, and you get $20 in product. So again, our Christmas club for November is going to be November 9th, and you do need to RSVP by the 31st of October. Okay, that's all of my announcements for you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. This time around, we focused on the Brightest Glow stamp set and coordinating dies. I actually have stuff for 2 cards here, so this is the Brightest Glow stamp set, and as you can see, it's all greetings, and it coordinates with the, not trimming the tree, the Christmas lights. And this is the one that has the dies that have the little dots in them, so they're kind of see-through. They're really, really pretty. So for club, you got those. You got a pack, I'm sorry, you didn't get those dies and stamp sets. You could add them on, but you got a pack of the Designer Series paper, which is Christmas Aglow, I think. And it has just gorgeous gold foil in it. And then the other side is blue, kind of just regular designs with stars and little like camera lights, and so lots of gorgeous colors and lots of ways to use some bling with it. So you got some you got a half a pack of the paper, and then you got the gold ribbon and a pack of the Sparkle and Shine Sequins assortment. So that's what came with your club. And then of course you had the prepped materials to make all 15 cards. So when you come to class, you're going to get all of your materials. I'll just stack up. These are the ones that you need for this card. And you could do either a background. I did cut your papers for you. Your designer series papers are all cut for you. So you could pick either one of these. I think I did 2 of this one and 1 of that one. Okay, so let's get started, shall we? We used the coordinating dies to cut out a piece of basic white and evening evergreen. Okay, so you can see all those little holes that the dies cut out. So I'm going to use some evening evergreen. And those of you who ordered your kits to go, this is exactly how your kit will come. Your dies are cut for you, and your papers are all cut. So you're just going to have to do some assembly and some stamping. So you can stamp, if you don't have this stamp set, any sentiment that you like right on here, your little circle. And I put it up towards the top of my circle because I wanted to put my little bow at the bottom. So let's get rid of this. And I'm going to take my ribbon. I'm just going to cut a little piece off. I guess I'll actually tie it in a knot first. Then I'll have a little less waste. So I'm just going to tie it in a knot there and trim it up so it has a little nice crisp tail on it. And I'm going to put this on using a glue dot. And set all my kits on top of my little bag of supplies here. So, and actually I think I'm going to set that aside and put that on the very last. So you're going to have a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 basic white cardstock, and then your evening evergreen cardstock is 11 by 8 1/2 by 4 1/4. 11 by 4 1/4. No. Well, that's a pretty basic thing to be. It is 8 1/2 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to score my 8 1/2 side at 4 1/4. Okay, so that's going to be your basic piece of cardstock. And I'm just going to put some adhesive. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal on the back of my basic white. And I'm going to put that inside my card. And if you place an order with me and use my hostess code, and your order's over $35, I will send you a kit to make one of each of these cards. And I'm going to use this piece of designer series paper just because I used that piece on the other one. But you can use any piece in this pack will coordinate and be beautiful with this. And I really like that kind of gold to it, so. Okay. So that's going to be our card base. And then I'm going to take this piece of basic white, and this piece is 4 1/8 by 3 5/8. And I'm just going to put this piece of evening evergreen where we put our, that we ran through our Stampin' Cut and Emboss with our die. And I'm going to put that right on top of it. And you're going to see how having these little holes in there is really going to make that pop with the white behind it. Isn't that gorgeous? I have one little hole in there I missed. And I did try to pop everybody's out. There we go. If you did a to-go kit. Okay? Now I'm going to bring my sentiment back in. I'm going to put it up on some dimensionals. These are my mini ones, and I think I want some big ones there. So I'm just gonna, and these are sticky on both sides, so I'm just gonna put 2 of those on. I'm gonna put some on this piece also. And for this one, I'm gonna grab my adhesive strips because it is a long piece, and so I want to give it as much support as I can. So I'm just in these come in long strips like this, and they are like our dimensionals. So they're just going to give it that little bit of a rise. And I don't think I need to do it end to end here. So I'm just going to kind of put it on like that. And then I'm just going to peel the back off. They're sticky on both sides. So you have that protective backing on there that you need to take off. And I'm just going to put it in the center of my card. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Take the little protective backing of my sentiment. And you can see these are really easy cards to do, but they're going to give you a little bit of a wow. Just because they're gorgeous, right? And I love how everything coordinates. So they really are super easy to do. So I'm just going to put that. Now, and when I say coordinate, not only the colors, but these dies coordinate with each other. You can see that one layers right inside there. And the stamp sentiment fits perfectly in there. So this is our first one. And everybody got to make 3 of these. And here's the one with the different designer series paper. Oh, and I forgot to add my little sequins here. All of these cards have sequins on them. And then, oh, wow, look at that. Gross. They all have sequins, and they all have the ribbon. So I'm just going to add 1, 2, 3 little sequins. Now you can add as many or as few as you want. And for this one, I added kind of a clear bobble to it, but you can see there's lots of different sequins in here. There's some like almost glass ones. There's some little white stars. There's some iridescent ones. There's some silver ones. So for this one, I'm going to use these little, I don't know if you can see it. It's almost like a clear ball. So I'm going to use those. And I'm not too worried about getting them on there real quickly because that glue will take a few minutes to set up. So it'll get a little bit tacky while I'm playing around, finding my little baubles in here. Oh, that one fell. There we go. And now we're done. I was making these samples and spilled my sequins all over. So you can see those are just kind of like little tiny clear baubles in there. So that is our first one. And then our second one is this really pretty one. Let me take these out of the bags. I leave them in bags when the class is here because sometimes they get dropped and then they're all full of ink. And so let's pull out what we need for this one. We are going to use 2 gold pieces and 3 of the black pieces. And we're going to use 1 card base. And this is going to go inside your card. This is a piece of Very Vanilla. And this is Cherry Cobbler. We have our sentiment and our cherry cobbler ink. And then we have 3 pieces of cherry cobbler paper. I'm sorry, we have 2 pieces of cherry cobbler paper. And then a piece of very vanilla to put our sentiment on. And these are pieces, the very vanilla sentiment piece was cut from this die, which is also in the coordinating die packets. And then the designer series paper I cut with this. So I did a piece here and then flipped it around and did a piece there. Okay, so those are the materials that you need for this one. And I'm gonna start, again, this is an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of paper. Score the 8.5 side at 4 1/4. And then I'm just gonna burnish and fold it over. And then I'm gonna take my very vanilla piece and put it on the inside of my card. I do insides of cards only when it's a dark cardstock that you can't write on. Otherwise, I like to write right on the inside of my card and skip the extra bulk. Okay, so that's our card base. And then I'm going to bring in my little piece I cut for my sentiment. I have to take my sweater off. It's starting to burn a sweat here. So I'm just going to ink my stamp up. This stamp pad gets kind of fussy sometimes. Okay. So I'm going to ink my stamp up and stamp it right in the middle. Perfect. I like it when it works like that. Okay. Then I'm just going to set this aside while I put these pieces together. I'm going to start off using my red pieces and my 2 gold pieces. So I'm going to put some adhesive on my red pieces. And again, you can use any side of the paper that you want. And I'm just using my Stamp and Seal on it. And I'm not using the gold side of this one because I used the gold with the black and then the gold pieces behind. So I thought that that might be just a little too much. So I'm going to put this piece right in the middle of my gold piece. So my first step was to use my Stampin' Cut and Emboss and die cut it. And then my second step is to put it right in the center of my gold piece. And I also cut my 2 pieces together. So I layered these 2 red pieces on top of each other and ran them through so that they would both have the same amount on each side. Okay? And then I'm going to put some adhesive on all of my black pieces at the edge. Okay? And this really looks much harder than it is to get it lined up. I'm going to make sure I have some adhesive on the bottoms here. So I put it down both sides and across the bottom on both of them, on all 3 of them. This was one of my favorite stamp sets from this holiday catalog. And I just really like it because I'm kind of a bling girl. So I'm going to take the original piece that I had with my cherry cobbler and my gold, and I'm going to lay this black right next to it. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my other black piece. And I'm just kind of holding it there until I think, okay, gosh, that looks really good. And I'm going to make sure it's straight. Love it, right? And now I'm going to take my second piece and line up my gold. And I think that looks nice and straight. Trying to get the same amount of gold in between each one. So I'm going to do this last piece. And that's how easy it was to make that middle piece. Okay, I'm going to set it this way so that I don't tape it to my scrap piece of paper here. And I'm going to bring my sentiment back in, and I am going to thread it down through the big hole. There we go. And then I'm going to bring it back up on the other side through that middle biggest hole. Biggest middle hole, I don't know how you say that. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of bring my words to the middle here. I think I want it a little bit more. Okay, and then just trim my ribbon. All right, and then I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of my sentiment. And again, I'm just using my Stampin' Seal, but you can use glue, whatever is your favorite kind of adhesive to use. You can use dimensionals, whatever you want. So I'm going to put that in the middle here and adhere it right to the back of my card. And press it down because I did put adhesive on there. I didn't want that flapping around, so. And then I'm going to add just a little more adhesive on top of my ribbon and on top of those gold pieces. And it's going to go right on top of our cherry cobbler cardstock. I think that's a little too far down, so go there. Okay, and then let's bring some of these in. And I used just some little sequins here and here. Here we go. And I use the iridescent ones. Let's see if I can get some of those. Here we go. Now that little star wants to hang on there. Okay. So I'm just going to put a little iridescent one at the top and at the bottom. Okay, so you have those two little iridescent sequins on there and that gold ribbon. Just a really fancy, pretty card. Okay, and number 3. I'm taking this. This one was kind of a, it's soft succulent, so it's kind of a different color for Christmas, but I think it's a really fun color. So let's get our pieces for this one. You're going to have a piece of soft succulent as your card base. You have a piece of gold, and then this is a piece of your designer series paper, and that is cut at 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then we used some of the new Stylish Shapes dies to we use these 2 circles in the stylish shape dies to cut out a piece of vanilla and a piece of gold to layer it on. All right, so I'm going to start off just by stamping our sentiment. All of these sentiments come right from this stamp set. And this one says, "'Tis this season." So I'm just going to stamp that in the middle there. Put that aside. And we can assemble. So I'm going to start by taking the 8.5 by 5.5, scored on the 8.5 side at 4 1/4. I'm just going to fold it right on that score line, bring in my bone folder, and burnish it. And again, this was one where we are going to do 2 different kinds of papers, designer series papers for it. So for the one, I'm going to use this, and for the other one, I use that piece. So, and you can again choose whichever side. This would be really cool on this side of the paper too. So it's really up to you how you want to do that. Stampin' Up's papers all coordinate and they are all beautiful. So you really cannot go wrong. And you have paper left over if you were in the club that you can put on the inside of your card if you want to. You can cover your envelope if you want to. Or you can make more cards if you want to. It's totally up to you, whatever you want to do. I am going to add some dimensionals. My words on the other one just popped right off, so I'm going to add some dimensionals on there. And we can put those down and we'll fix that card. But while I'm doing that, I wanted to show you, this is how I did my ribbon there. So you can see I have tape on both sides and just kind of made it a little zigzag. But we're just going to fix this one right now and then we'll finish with the one we're doing. Okay, so for this one, we're going to take our gold and we're going to take our designer series paper and we're going to just put our designer series paper right on top of this gold piece and just center it there. I made my gold 3 by 3 and then just cut my circle 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Okay, so now I'm just going to take some tape, some snail here, stamp and seal, and I am going to give my ribbon a little fancy cut there. And I'm going to start and have it go just off a little bit. And then I'm going to bring it back around. And my ribbon's going to go just off my gold foil a little bit. And then this one's going to be just inside my gold foil, just a tiny bit there. And I'm going to cut this piece, okay? Super easy and quick. And then I'm going to put my vanilla cardstock with my sentiment on it. I guess it's Whisper White. Is it white? Yep. On top of it there. And I'm going to put this up on dimensionals because I put all that tape on it and I don't want to flip it over and get tape on my... I don't want to tape this whole piece to my scrap paper. So I'm just going to put dimensionals on it and it will still look nice. This is kind of different for me. My Christmas card club is the only club I do where I do 5 different designs. So this is kind of going to be a long video with 5 cards in it. So I'm just going to make sure my card's opening in the right direction. Plop that on there right in the middle. Put some dimensionals on here. Because you can never have too many dimensionals. You like things to be puffy and puffed up. All right. And I think that we have used, by the time we're done, we have used at least one of every design of paper that is in this packet. So you get a really good idea of how gorgeous all of the paper is. So here you have two different ones. I'm going to take, and I think I'm going to add some stars to this one. I did the little bobbly ones on the other one, but I think I'm going to add some stars just because there's stars on that paper too, and I think that'll be really pretty. So I'm just going to add 3 little drops of glue here and put some stars in there. So let's see if I can, those two are going to go back. I'm just going to get 1, 2, 3 little stars there. And again, you can pick any kind of sequence that you want. You don't have to do the stars just because I am. You could do the baubles. You could do the iridescent would be really pretty on there. How did I miss one? Let's get another one out. There, when I'm cleaning up, I'll find that star laying around here somewhere, right? Because that's how that works. There we go. And you can use your take your pick tool to make it easier to put these on there too. So you have those 3 little stars at the bottom. There's the one I was missing, right? We knew it would come back around. Okay. I'm going to put that one down just a hair because I want them in a straight line there. Okay, so that is card number 3. I'm sorry. I'm going to be sick of hearing my voice. So remember, we want to, from now on, we're going to be live here at 10 o'clock on Tuesdays. So let's get out our goodies from this one. We want some cherry cobbler. This is our distressed gold that's in the annual catalog. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And this is our designer series paper and some more designer series paper. That's basic white that's going to go on the inside. And then we have a cherry cobbler outside. And then we have this little square that we cut out with this die. And this one is again from the oh gosh, the sentiment one. It will come to me. I will post what dies we used. Here it is, right here. So this is the Stylish Shapes dies. And that's where these circles came from and our square. That if you don't have that set of dies, you absolutely need it. I use those for almost every time I design a card. Lots of circles and lots of squares. So this is the card we're going to make. And it is the All is Merry and Bright. And you can see I did some stars on there too because I really liked them. And then I combined the stars with the little sequins too. So that was kind of a tricky little move on my part. So I'm going to start with stamping my sentiment. And I'm using some cherry cobbler ink. And I think this one I have to tilt a little bit. I'm just going to practice over here on my scrap paper. That's what my scrap paper is for. Because I want to be sure I get it nice and straight on my square. There we go. And get rid of this ink pad. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. And again, my cherry cobbler piece is 8.5 by 5.5. And I scored the 8.5 side at 4 1/4. And I'm going to burnish it on that score line. I'm going to take my basic white piece of cardstock and just add some Stampin' Seal to it. and put that on the inside of my card. And I think that's got it. Okay, and then I'm going to take these pieces, and I think they're 2 inches. Yep, they're 2 inches by 4 inches. And they're going to go at the top of my card and the bottom of my card. And the reason I did this, I cut them at 2 inches instead of doing a 5 1/4 by 4, is that I wanted to save the extra space in the middle for this piece. So I didn't want to just use a big piece of the designer series paper and then cover up 1 3/4 inches of it with my gold. So I'm just going to put that on the bottom, this one on the top, there we go, and then I'm going to put this one in the middle. So it's going to go right over top of both of those. Okay. And then I'm going to put this one on with some dimensionals. I'm going to do my ribbon like I did my ribbon on the other one. So I have 2, I'm going to do 3 pieces of adhesive there. And I'm going to start by laying it down here. And I'm going to pull it up at the top and just kind of loop it around. And then do the same thing down here. I think I need a little bit more sticky over here. I'll layer that just a little closer. There we go. I want it just to lean right on it. There. And I'm going to trim this one. And I want a little more of a point here, so I'm going to trim this one again. Well, maybe I am. Just going to lift it up. There's more than one way to skin this cat, right? And get my hand all stuck in there. There we go. Okay, and then I am going to put this piece of designer series paper on with some dimensionals because I have all that ribbon back there. So that's going to make it kind of bulky. So I'm just going to put dimensionals on here. Okay, and again, this piece is cut 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. There we go. I'll move that one up just a tiny bit. Oh boy, that is not straight at all, is it? I have to lift it up and look at it. There, now we got it straight. Perfect. And then I'm just going to put some Stampin' Seal on the back of my sentiment. And you guys can see these are pretty easy cards. And that's why they can get 15 of them done in 2 hours or 3 hours. I guess it's 3 hours, 1 to 4, 2, 3 hours. All that glue was stuck on my lid was getting to me. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to plop 3 little stars on here. And I think I'm going to leave the sequins off. In fact, I think I've changed my mind and I'm just going to add 3 sequins up there. And like I said, you can, of course, sprinkle these anywhere you want on your card. Boy, that one is really sticking to my finger. might have to use these little silver ones on the next one because those ones are kind of cool and I haven't used them yet. But I do think that silver and gold can be used together, so we're going to do those on the next one. I'm just going to plop these down into where I put the glue. There we go. So that's your fourth one. Let me pop down here for a minute and see if anybody has any questions. We should be doing that. Hi Pam and Kay. I'm glad you guys are liking these cards. I think that Steampin' Up has done all of the work for them here, but I kind of like that too. So this is our last one. I can't believe it's been 5 so far. So let's get out. We have the extra thick vanilla cardstock. We have the tree, which was cut with one of the dies. And then we used black paper, so I'm going to use this cherry cobbler for this one. And I'm going to use some Season's Greetings. And I'm going to use a little sequins from here. And this is going to be our sentiment on here. And that was cut with this die, which is part of the bundle. And then I cut out a little star for the top out of some gold foil. So those are the pieces we're going to be using for this one. And I'm going to start with my greeting. I'll take the paper off here so you can see what it's going to look like. Okay, so that's what our card's going to look like. And I'm going to bring in my sentiment here. I'm going to ink it up with some black, Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And I went a little heavy on that S down there, so I'm gonna make that better because I don't want my S really sticking out like that. So I'm just gonna lightly ink it up. I'm gonna make sure I have ink all over it. Okay. Wow, I'm not sure I do have ink all over it, so okay. Making this one look really hard when it's not. And I'm just gonna lay my die cut piece really straight. Put my greeting on it. And there's our sentiment piece. I'm gonna bring in my ribbon. And I'm just going to take my paper snips and I'm going to use them to soften the ribbon. Oh, I've got black ink on me now. So I'm going to hold them with the blade up and closed. And then I'm going to lay my ribbon on top of it and just lightly pull it with my thumb there. And that makes it softer so that it's easier for me to tie a beautiful bow. And I do bunny ears. So I have 2 little bunny ears. One's going to go right over top of the other one. And it's going to go down and then up through the hole. And then I'm just going to pull it and play with it a little bit until I get it a size that's good for the edge of my sentiment. And I think that will work. I think that's a good size. So I'm going to just bring in my ribbon scissors and trim those little edges. There we go. All right, and then let's get our tree here. So my extra thick, very vanilla cardstock is 8.5 by 5.5. I score the 8.5 side at 4 1/4, and that's going to be our card base. And then I'm going to put my designer series paper down, and I think I like this side up better. So I'm going to just put my Stampin' Seal. Oh, got some frayed ribbon on there. So I'm going to put my Stampin' Seal in these corners. Center this. There we go. I'm going to add some Stampin' Seal to the back of my tree. This is a really pretty tree too. So you can do it either way. I kind of like this one. Sometimes I think that the sparkly gives it a really elegant look. So I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to take that gold star I cut out, the little die cut gold star, and I'm going to put that on using a glue dot at the top of our tree. And then I wanted a really kind of gotcha wow star at the top. So I'm using some of our sequins, and let's see if I can see what I did with the package of them. These I left on the table. They come in 3 different colors, and I'll put the name of them on there, but and I'm just going to put that big sequence right in the middle of that star. Here, I'll get it up there so you can see what a difference it's going to make. So there's your little star on the gold, which is really nice. But I'm just going to put this one in the middle of it. And it just kind of gives it a little bit more dimension, I think. Okay, so here it comes in, a pack that has green and white and gold and kind of a pink. And they have their big sequins, and they have adhesive on the back of them. Okay, I'm going to take my Season's Greetings. I'm going to put it up on some dimensionals. So I'm just going to use 3 of these in the back. And again, you can use the strip here if you want to. A foam adhesive strip if you prefer that to the dots for a long one like this. And there we go. And I'm going to put my little bow on with a glue dot. Just right there on the edge. Okay. And then I'm going to add some of these little silver guys as kind of ornaments. I used the iridescent sequins on this one as like little ornaments all over the tree. But I think I'm going to add those other little silver ones just so we can see what those are like. And I'm just kind of randomly putting some glue on there. And I think I'm just going to dump some out here and fish through it that way. That might be the easiest way to go. So I'm just kind of getting a little silver one on my finger. Ooh, I got a lot with that one. And then I'm just kind of popping it on where the glue is. So it's just sitting right on top of the glue. My glue's kind of tacky, just from letting it sit while I'm picking up the little silver pieces. Gosh, and once your finger gets sticky, all of the pieces stick to them. You definitely are better off using a little tool for this than your fingers, but I didn't bring any little tools, so I'll just use my fingers. Kind of gotta use what you have sometimes, right? Well, I think I like this too, this little silver one. he has like kind of a hole in the middle of it, which is kind of cool. And I think I have one more little spot of glue there. I'm actually trying to get him on a finger that doesn't have any glue on it. And I see one more here. There we go. And there's a little bobble there. Okay. So now we have that gold tree and the gold foil, a little star hanging on there. And then we just added some silver ornaments to it. I think that's very cool. I'm going to get my sequins picked up and my lid on before I spill the whole thing, because that I have done and it is no fun to pick them all up. These are perfect. This sequence is perfect for a shaker card. I can't wait to do one with these because they're just so shiny. Aren't they beautiful? They're shiny and so much color to them. They're just gorgeous. Okay, so these are our 5 cards. We did this one in 2 different colors, 2 different designer series papers in the background. This was our Merry and Bright. And this was the 'Tis the Season in 2 different backgrounds. And then we did this one. And we did this one with 2 different backgrounds. And I think that they're just, both of them are just gorgeous. So again, my next Christmas club is going to be on November 9th. So you have until the 31st of October to RSVP for it. It's $39. It does include $20 worth of product. And you'll make 15 cards, 3 each of 5 different designs. And these are the 5 cards that we made at our last club, which was last Friday. So if you ordered a to-go kit, I did put those in the mail this morning. If you place a $35 order with me this week before the end of the month, I will send you card kits to make these cards. And the birthday club is coming up. We start in November, and that uses the birthday card planner kit. And then the Nourish and Flourish club, or I'm sorry, not the club, the Nourish and Flourish kit night is going to be November 16th. And you have until November 2nd to register for that one. So if you're not on my email list, I will put a link on this page for you to join my email list, because all of my classes go out in my newsletter each month. So thanks for stopping in, you guys. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. And remember, I'll be back here next Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock.